Hello everyone, welcome to MVP Vishwakosha. Today we are discussing 12th August 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is Sri Lanka supported India, that is on recent US tariff escalation by Donald Trump. In that Sri Lanka supported India. So in that Sri Lanka on August 2025, in that the US under the President Trump slapped a steep 50% tariff on Indian goods, right? So in that India continued oil import from Russia. For that Sri Lanka, currently Sri Lanka is grappling with its tariff and also. In that Sri Lanka response from parliamentary solidarity, Sri Lankan MP Harsha De Silva addressing parliament stood firmly with the India. So he told that don't laugh at India when we were down. They were the only one to lend us a hand. Okay, and also his remarks spotlighted India's previous vital assistance during Sri Lanka's economic crisis and credit lines, and also grants, humanitarian aid, and all. Okay, this is how he responded. So that international development, that is particularly on US tariff changes and all, in that main that Sri Lankan support, that India Sri Lanka diplomatic dynamics, and also that bilateral relations, that is India's role in Sri Lanka's economy and stability builds goodwill and strategic depth, and also trade wars and geoeconomics. So still that tariffs are a tool of diplomacy. Sri Lanka's parliamentary backing of India showcase regional solidarity. Okay, all that very important. Sri Lanka support, that is MP Harsha De Silva parliamentary speeches defending India, and also historically that India's significance aid to Sri Lanka during its financial crisis. Okay, that is about recent India Sri Lanka development. Okay, next news, that is Kakori train. Okay, that is 100th anniversary of Kakori train action. Okay, that is paid tribute to August 9th, emphasizing that the courage of the revolutionaries reflected widespread resentment against colonial rule. Okay, all that Union Home Minister and Lucknow, a national seminar, and also CM Yogi Adityanath of Uttar Pradesh launched a closing ceremony of that Kakori Shahid Memorial on August 8th and all. Okay, in that historical perspective, you should know about that Kakori train action. Okay, that is also termed as Kakori conspiracy. Okay, in history perspective, in the modern history, it will come right in 9th August 1925. Okay, during the revolutionary period, when members of the Hindustan Republican Association (HRA), later the Hindustan Socialist Republic Association, robbed a British treasury train near Lucknow to fund revolutionary activities. It was led by prominent revolutionaries like Ram Prasad Bismil, Asaf Khan, and Chandrasekhar Azad, Rajendra Lahiri. Okay, all that among them. And also a passenger, that is Ahmad Ali, was killed during the act, turning it into a case of manslaughter and amplifying its gravity. And also the event galvanized public sentiment, highlighted communal harmony, and emerged as a turning point for revolutionary phase of India's freedom struggle. Okay, you know, right? Modernate extremists, all that. So in that revolutionary phase is one period, right? So in that exam perspective, that dates and all. Okay, and also that HRA, HSRA, all that very important. History perspective, history significance, that evolution of revolutionary nationalism and impact of armed struggle and post non-cooperation movement and communal unity. All that is very important. Next point, recent about that is in social media driven campaign to boycott US product. Okay, that is due to that Trump's 50% tariff on Indian exports. Social media in India, so mainly erupted with the slogans like boycott USA, targeting prominent US brands such as McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Amazon, and Apple. So, and also local business leaders and Swadeshi Jagran Manch backed the call, promoting economic self-reliance and by local sentiment. Okay. And also the Swadeshi Jagran Manch linked to the ruling party's ideological ecosystem has organized rallies, circulated all that social media, all that. Okay. And also digital payment apps, especially Google Pay, have come under targeted boycott trends on X, with the user demanding self-reliance on homegrown app usage. And also backlash is a part of global pattern, that is Canada, Europe, and other are also seeing social media-led boycott USA movements in response to Trump's tariff. Okay, so in this you should know about that Trump's tariff and all that that brand names, American brand names. Okay, and also that Swadeshi governments. Okay, all that. Okay, that is very important. That is economic implications and that is Atmanirbhar Bharat and social political dimension, technological aspects, foreign policy. All that very important. Next point. That is about recent news on animal stem cell bank. Okay, that is Union India first animal cell bank launched. Okay, that is India's first animal stem cell biobank and laboratory at the National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, and also in Hyderabad's that is Gachibowli. The facility spans 9,300 square feet, built a cost of around 1,000 rupees, so 1.85 crore, with the expanded infrastructure supporting totaling rupees 19.98 crore of the hostel and staff, okay, quarters. So it will equip with the advanced tools including stem cell culture unit, 3D bioprinter, bacterial culture lab, and also that autoclave rooms and biobank will research in regenerative medicine, cellular therapies, disease modeling, and tissue engineering and reproductive biotechnology for livestock and all. And also, the facility will establish under the Department of Biotechnology and Biotechnology Research Innovation Council. Okay, there is also called BRIC, and also supported by National Biopharma Mission. Okay, will provide a high quality animal stem cells and culture media to veterinary clinics, research institutions, and biotech industry, aimed to at boosting livestock health, livestock productivity, zoonotic disease preparedness, and cutting dependence on imports and all. In this perspective, all that is NIAB Hyderabad, and also key innovator, that is Animal Stem Biobank. Okay, and focus area, that is livestock regenerative medicine, cryobanking, and enabling bodies, all that very important. And science and technology perspective, that role of biotech in transforming agriculture and animal husbandry, and also economy, governance, and policy perspective, and health environment, very important. Next point, that is about Australia's recent support for Palestine. That is, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced that Australia will formally recognize the state of Palestine at upcoming UN General Assembly in September. The recognition in this contingent upon commitments from the Palestine Authority, that is excluding Hamas from governance, demilitarizing, and also holding transparent elections, ending martyr payments, and recognizing Israel's right to exist. And also PM Albans and all that Penny Wong stressed the move reinforced that two-state solution seeks to isolate extremism and respond to worsening humanitarian conditions in Gaza. And also, Australia previously supported giving Palestine greater UN participation, and also signaled openness to recognize this when the time is right. Very important that the move aligns Australia with the Western supporters like UK, France, Canada, and Malta, and also obviously Israel condemned, recognizing, calling it as a reward for terrorism. Critics argue it may be embedded than Hamas. Also, some domestic support came from pro-Palestine groups, all that backlash and public sentiment, and okay, that is about recent news. So that is Australia support, okay, for Palestine. Next is nashamuktbharatabhiyaan fifth anniversary. You should know about that program. That is actually that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar International Center, New Delhi. A special event was organized by Union Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. Organized the celebration themed around Raksha Bandhan. Sisters from Brahmakumaris tried Rakis to nearly 400 CRPF personnel, followed by a mass pledge for a drug-free life. Okay, and also in Haryana state level functions, and okay. And also in other that Nagaland also launched the mass pledge. Okay, very important that launch date, that is 15 August 2025. That Nashamukt okay program in governance and social policy and public health to society. That substance abuse as a multifaceted social issue, right? Also, community pledges behavioral nudge role in society, and administrative strategy, that use of mass and state level diffusion themed campaigns for enhancing outreach and ownership. Okay. And that in governance and social policy, interdepartmental convergence, grassroots mobilization, use of symbolism on that. Okay. Very important. Okay. Then that is about 5th anniversary of nashamuktbharatabhiyaan. Next news, that is recently Ukraine, that is outreach to India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Okay, that is Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky held a lengthy phone call with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging India's support in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, especially amid plans for a high-stakes meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Okay, Zelensky pressed for a stronger backing for Ukraine and also measures to restrict Russian oil export and which finance the war. And also he also emphasized the necessity for Ukraine to be included in peace decision making. And also during the same call, Zelensky communicated the urgency for preventing further territorial concerns to Russia and called for continued diplomatic pressure and sanctions. And also PM Modi reiterated India's consistent position strive for a peaceful resolution through dialogue and diplomacy. And also he expressed support for the proposed Trump-Putin summit as a potential platform for de-escalate tensions. Okay, that is about recent Zelensky Modi call. Okay, in this international relation perspective and foreign policy strategy, geopolitical dynamics, all that very important. Next news, that is on PM E-Drive extension. Okay, should know about that PM E-Drive scheme extension. In that that government of India has extended the PM electric drive revolution in innovative vehicle enhancement. Okay, PM E-Drive scheme by 2 years. That is now valid until 31 March 2025. 28. Okay. Instead of the earlier end date is March 2026. This total budget remains rupees 10,900 crore. This extension applies specifically for electric buses and e-trucks, e-ambulance and charging infrastructure subsidies for electric two-wheelers, e-rickshaws and other three-wheelers will end and initially scheduled on 31st March 2026. Okay, very important scheme for exam perspective. The scheme is fund limited, meaning once the rupees 10,900 crore is exhausted even before 2028, subsidies will cease for relevant segments. Okay, the extension priorities public and essential transport, electrification and supports EV infrastructure and upskilling. Also including electric buses, ambulance trucks and charging stations and testing facility. Okay, all that scheme extension, very important scheme that governance and policy in that environment and sustainable development, right? And also economy and infrastructure very important. Okay, this is about PME drive extension. Next is China's railway project near the India border. Okay, that is China is launching a major in the Xinjiang Tibet railway project with the construction state to be begin this year. The new rail line managed by newly formed Xinjiang Tibet Railway Corporate Limited with connect Hoton in Xinjiang to Lhasa in Tibet to run near India's line of actual control in the Ladakh sector. This marks a significant infrastructure and strategic development. Okay, all that area. Okay, that Xinjiang Tibet railway extension near and all that, and also highlights China's infrastructure push in sensitive border regions. And also construction is expected to begin in 2025. Project completion and by 2035. Okay, all that geopolitics and infrastructure in that the development and China's strategic mobility along the LAC and potentially tilting the power balance in the border security. And also India-China strategic dynamics, a counterweight to this move could involve India accelerating its border infrastructure initiatives and routes, railway tunnels and that BRO projects in Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh, and also strategic planning connectivity that illustrates how infrastructural projects are tools for both economic and integration of military readiness and all. Okay, very important. That is about China's recent railway project near India border. Next is recent Supreme Court stray dog directive. Okay, that is on dogs in Delhi. Okay, that is Supreme Court of India has issued a directive mandating the removal of all stray dogs from Delhi, Noida, Gurugram and Ghaziabad within 8 weeks, relocating them to shelters. The court ruled that the dogs, whether sterilized or not, should not be released back into public space and also warned of legal action against anyone obstructing the process. Also, a dedicated force may be formed to carry out this operation. And also, authorities have also been instructed to set up helpline for reporting dog bites and rabies cases, highlighting the government's urgency to protect public safety. Okay, and also court directives was triggered suo motu on its own motion after media reports and all. Okay, also director has met strong opposition that all that. Okay, and also animal right activists and celebrities also disagreed the ruling as cruel and impractical. Okay, and also the insightful opinion piece condemned the ruling disagreed for India's indigenous Feria dogs. It is clash with ecological informed animal welfare and its reductive view of dogs in all that. Okay, important that is about recent direction by Supreme Court to remove stray dogs from the streets to shelters in Delhi NCR region. Okay, that is about Supreme Court's order. That is about 12th August 2025 current affairs. Thank you. Support me for further videos so that I can analyze all the topics required for UPSC and all competitive exams. Thank you.